What is up, everybody? We are in the classic value jet colors. I had to play some bluesy jazz for this flight because we're heading down to Nolens, New Orleans. Nolens. I think the locals pronounce it Nolens. Kind of missing some syllables in there, but I love this livery. This is a request from a viewer of ours, and my favorite thing about it, I mean, the color scheme's really vintage with like these pastel colors, but I love the this black decal that they put like on the front of the nose. That just gives it like the Maddog, this menacing look that it's known for. And the Alitalia has that too, which I want to take out into Italy this week. So we're here in Southwest Florida. Instead of just flying over the ocean, I took like a little bit longer route to fly up the panhandle of Florida, so we might be able to see some scenery if we can get some clear weather. There's a big front that's moving through the East Coast, affecting all these playoff games for the NFL, but I'm hoping we can see the ground at some point. Probably could have checked that on my Navigraph cloud cover radar before we head out, but we're here parked at the gate and take a look around. Not really a huge fan of this scenery. They did like a nice terminal area, but the gates are kind of iffy and the terminal is not modeled at all in this area. The textures are decent, but the ground textures from Fly2i, see how they shimmer out in the distance like that? It's just, I don't know what their deal is, but they're the only scenery developer that seems to have this issue. So anyhow, it's a little bit gray. We're here in sunny Florida, but it's not sunny today. But we're gonna fire up this bad boy and get on our way. All right. So we're in the cockpit. We'll check our battery. We're looking for a 54-ish, which looks good. We can turn our battery on, lock that guy. Come over to the EFB, fire this guy up. Make sure our sim sounds are up for everybody. We will come here. We're going to connect our ground power unit and we'll get the air conditioning too. Open up the pneumatic feed valve so our passengers can have some oxygen flowing. And our exterior power looks good. Voltage and frequency. We can select bus 1 and right bus. It's coming to life. It's alive. All right. Do our emergency light test with the cabin crew. It's a little quiet. All right, that's set. We'll set this ice FOD, windshield anti-ice is on. Get our pitot heaters on. Gonna select our seatbelt signs for our passengers. We're not gonna be doing any active fueling. This all looks good. Come up here, do the fire test. Looks good. A little bit of lighting. These are on the north position. Our flight black box here is the 13th day of January. And our flight number today is going to be EasyJet. Sorry, not EasyJet. ValueJet. EasyJet's a cheap ripoff of the OG ValueJet. 3892. Ooh, where's my mouse at? Hello, 3892. And leg 1 will ground the flight recorder and insert, and now we can close that up. Cool. All right, we'll look for our anti-skid test. So 1, 2, 3, 4 warnings, and then that should extinguish our stall test. Getting the stall warnings down here. Speed test. It's working. System 2's working. We'll take our logo light. It's nasty out here. Looking for the yaw damper off and back on. Our mock trim warning in op and back on, which it is. Our ice FOD test, we're looking for 4 indications. 1, 2, 3, 4. And off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cabin temps in the north position. We can select our air conditioning to auto. Our pressurization, our flight, our field altitude here in Florida is 30 feet. So we can take 30-ish. And our altimeter is 29903. 29903, which is right there. Hit this. Take a look at our annunciator lights. Everything doesn't look like we're missing any bulbs or anything. And park the windshield wipers. We can lock the flight deck door. Come down here, test our co-pilot's oxygen. Testing normal. Turn his lights up a little bit. And we will do the terrain radar test. We need to get this into nav mode. I think it is. Oh no, there you go. Okay, let's see if it paints anything. There isn't really any terrain in this area, so I'm going to take that as a positive test. And our brake temperature test our hydraulics. Bring this pump up. We'll look for the levels that come up here. Put our nav lights on. We'll get our ILS auto land test going on autopilot 2. And we will auto land it. Bring this light up. And our hydraulics look good. These guys can come off. Just like that. Test our fuel system. That looks great. Test the TRP, which is testing good. Cage our artificial horizon. And do our fire tests. Looks good. Gear horn test. Gear horn cutoff test. That worked. And release this guy. And we can do our automatic pressurization test. So we'll roll this up and put it back on the auto. This should come back down automatically. We'll do, which it's working. We can do our manual trim test. Move that little widget there. And our electric trim test, which it's moving that. And our manual handle, which it is moving that. We'll disconnect it down here. Make sure that this doesn't move the trim. Neither does my electric inputs, but the manual trim does. And that's what we're looking for. I can set this back to normal. And this all looks good. We're going to enter in our flight ID, which is value jet. VJA. And 3892. Enter that. And for our walk code, we can do 2165. Enter. Put this to transponder mode. Test the comms. Cell count test. And comm. Let's get some lights in here. Alright. So we could do the autopilot 1 test, auto land. We can test our PFDs. That one's working. And this one's working. TCAS screen test. TCAS over there and here is indicating correctly. We'll do our altimeter test. We'll scroll up to 1,000 and shift the barometer, get our alert within 1,000 and after 250. Again, right there. Good. Altimeters are working. Our bank director to 15 for takeoff. We'll scroll up 250, bug it in. 250. There's no restrictions on this departure at all, so we're good to go up to 250. Our cruising altitude is going to be flight level 320. Flight level 320. Get rid of these guys. This is all tested and working. Flight directors, come on. We're going to arm the takeoff. Let's take a look at our fuel pumps up here. So I'm looking for that left to go out and the right to go out, which it did. And then if I open up the cross feed fuel and I hit one of these, both of them will extinguish. 1, goes out. So our fuel pumps are working and our crossfeed valves working. Trim is tested. Let's see. All right. So we tested all that, got this. We're good with that. Let's test his oxygen over here. That's testing good. I think we just need to do a weather test. So I'm going to power this up and test the weather radar. It's painting our picture nice. I need to do the wind shear test. Didn't hit that guy. Wind shear and GPWS. There you go. I think we got all the tests done. I'm going to bring the TRP to auto, set takeoff flex, and we are ready to load our weights and get our passengers on board. Let me see. All right. So yeah, let's start loading this up, get our passengers on board. So I'm going to load from SimBrief. We are looking to get block fuel of 22.8, and we got 22.8. Perfect. Working gorgeously. KRSW is our departure airport. That's an exact line up with the GPS position. Couldn't have been any better. KRSW, we're going over to KMSY, which I believe is Louis Armstrong, the famous jazz musician. Named the airport after him. Got that soul. Heading over. Maybe get some jambalaya. And then we're going to be departing off of runway 6 out of RSW on the Seashell 6. And we are going to be doing the LA Lakeland transition, I believe that is. All right, so we got that in there. We'll go back to our index. Our arrival is going to be the Ministry 1. And we're coming in. We're going to finally do a simple approach because I've been doing like challenging stuff and it's time to take a little bit of a breather over here. Let's do the ILS ALDAD for ILS runway 11. So ALDAD transition on the Ministry 1, and we're going to come on in the SJI transition. So this is all loaded. Let's take a look on the steps. So there's a vector that goes straight. There's a vector here that's going to take us straight eastbound for until we hit like 500 feet. Let me see. Climb heading 058 to 240. So 058 on the heading. To 540 feet, and then on heading 058 or assign direct vectors to direct vectors to Seashell. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Simple, easy departure out of here. Nothing really noteworthy. We'll bring our range down and step through the route to make sure there's no crazy discontinuities. That's our first vector. And then we go up to Seashell, Juneau, Pulek, Lakeland, Jalja, CEW, Inbird, Murray, SJI, Bugle, GPT, Celery, Monster, Slid, and then vectors, and then that will, I'll vector us onto the ILS for runway 11. I'll probably take like Voodoo. That's a great name at 7,000. And I'll turn us in because we have to be at 7,000 for that. Turtle at 4,000. Mudbag at 2,000 is the last fix before we get onto the glide slope for runway 11, which is 2.8 degrees. Kind of a not a typical 3-degree glide slope. Interesting. All right, so this all looks good. Initialized initialization page. So our fuel today is 22.8. We're going to do a normal burn. It's like 54 degrees out, so not too bad. Zero fuel weight, 109.7. Our reserves for this leg is our reserves are 2.7. 2.7. Cost index 35. Cruising altitude is flight level 320. Our cruise wind is 243 at 111. 243 at 111. And our ISA deviation is +8. That looks good. Takeoff. So let's let me get the passengers going here. My bad. Then we'll do our takeoff performance. Look at that. Look at that beautiful pastel blue and that crazy Microsoft Word font that they used for the tail, because they couldn't hire an artist. They were just like, yo, what's like the weirdest font we can get from Microsoft Word to make this look like a real airline? I don't know how long ValueJet was in business. I believe they were acquired by, let me look that up. Who acquired ValueJet? I want to say it was US Air or something. Southwest Airlines acquired ValueJet in May of 2011 and gradually integrated. Oh, no. You know what? Like AirTran. No. ValueJet was renamed AirTran, and then Southwest bought AirTran. So yeah, AirTran bought these because I have it in the sim, but we're not flying it right now. I have the AirTran MD-80. So that's who bought it after they had their tragedy or whatever in their crash, and they rebranded it and got acquired by AirTran, and then AirTran sold to Southwest. So AirTran bought them. It's an awesome livery though. So old school. Not really old, like kind of from the 90s, I guess, but it's a cool livery. It's like somebody should do this as like their logo. Is like do a little weight, like it's like, I swear to God, like somebody's 3-year-old made the logo and they did the Microsoft Word font for the tail. It's such a great, you could tell like this is like when like technology was starting to get good, like people were starting to get home computers and they were like, hey, I got this font that I saw on Microsoft. We could put it on the tail. And it's like, this is like somebody's 3-year-old kid drew this and it was like, thought it was cute and was like, we should make that the logo. Anyway, epic. This is the best part, the black decal, like how they do the raccoon eyes on the Airbus. I love that. This is sick. I love that. Gives it such a nasty look to it. So, all right, let's go do our takeoff performance now that we got everybody coming on board. Welcome aboard. All right, so performance, takeoff, KRSW, and it is dry. The winds here are 340 at 8, 340 at 8, and the outside air temperature is 12 degrees Celsius. Course normal takeoff, no. Runway 6, and we are going to go flaps 11, which is the Continental SOP. QNH is 2993, and anti-ice is off. Packs will leave on. Our estimated takeoff weight is 131,944, and we will do a flex hopefully here. So cell temp is 48, so flexing cell temp of 48, we'll dial that into the TRP, and we are going to do flaps 11, V1 34, 38, and 47, 147. I'll cross check that, 147, and we will get our card set up here. Our takeoff weight was 130, it's about roughly 132. Let me make sure. 140, yeah, that looks good. We'll bug that into the speed gauge, indicated airspeed gauge, and we are going to set flaps 11 so that bitchin' Betty doesn't bitch at us. Okay, that's good there. And our center of gravity is roughly 14.4. Yeah, that's right on the money right there. And I'm gonna trim this so that it matches the green bar right there. Cool. And we'll stow that. Flaps are good. We'll set this to takeoff. Let's get our APU going. I'm gonna take this fuel pump. Our lights are good. And the APU will spool up. Just gonna select this. Oh, we got it here. Here comes the APU spooling. Come out here, see if we can hear it. Value jet, baby. Oh, yes. Yeah, whoever was in charge of picking the colors, shout out to this guy. He was like, what colors can we get that have never been done before? And he raised his hand and he said, baby blue and mustard yellow. Baby blue and mustard yellow. We need the most clashing colors possible. Outstanding. And man, it withstood the test of time. It still looks great to this day. Oh, it looks like the weather is clearing up. I mean, we're going to be able to see quite a bit on our departure out here, which is cool. What do you think that I'm going to look up in the cruise what the name of the logo, like what his name is. They must have named it. All right, let's go back in here. So we're on APU power. Excellent. That's at 100%. I'm going to take the bleeds and we're good. We can come off the exterior power and I can disconnect that guy now. So ground power, GPU's off. We're on our own air so we can take the air conditioning off. Beautiful. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but maybe not. You always forget something on the Maddog, I'm telling you. I haven't had a flight where like I didn't forget something. And I'm using the checklist in here, so. All right, we're just gonna wait for the rest of our passengers to get on board and then we're ready to go. I'm gonna request the pushback. Good. No animations. Literally the gate is coming into our airplane for optimal realism. Look how epic this cockpit is though. This is a mod for really high resolution textures off of flightsim.to. So you can get like better cockpit textures because Leonardo for some reason it's a little bit blurred. These ones are super crisp and sharp. If you guys don't know, the Maddog has these mirrors on it for the captain and the co-pilot because of the standby compass. They ran out of room. Like they like finished the airplane and they were like, where do we put the standby compass in case all the avionics fail? They put the standby up in the corners up here, like right there. And then if they want to see the compass, they have to look in this mirror. And it's so because they're looking at it in a mirror, the compass is printed backwards, like all the text, so that when they look at it in a mirror, it shows forward. It's kind of a ridiculous charm, like a little quirky charm that the Maddog has, but it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Like this is probably a $50 million airplane and they forgot to put the compass in. Okay. So I can get rid of this tablet. I'm going to put this on flight mode. It's a little bright. Bring that down. Cool. All right, are you done, John? Loading the bags in here, Johnny? Are you going to finish? All right, we're all boarded up like for the Maddog side. All right, the last of the baggage has been loaded. Here we go. Do you want to start engines? No. Let's get serious now. Everybody's locked out. Good.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Anti-collision lights are on. We're about to move. He is inside the airplane.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
He is trying to be a stowaway and come with us to New Orleans. He heard there's a good special on the jambalaya. Whatever happened to the New Orleans Saints after? I guess they got the Tommy Stevens. No, Tommy Stevens went to Tennessee. Who's their quarterback? Like that Tyson guy? I forget his name. But they haven't been as dominant ever since their coach and Breeze left. All right, what we want to do for our pushback is I want to turn this thing's nose to the right. So we're facing north. And the parking brake's off. Want legs over here, speeds over there. Okay, let's bring the fuel pumps to on. Do we have center fuel? We'll burn that in the air. Okay, our pneumatics can come off. Or our air can come off. That looks good. We want to look for 4.2, which we've got. We can go to system B and start number 2. And here we go. Should start spooling right here, which it is. Nice. These are like these weird flickering textures that I can't stand from fly too high. I've vowed to myself I'm not buying any more of their products because they can do good on Jacksonville. Fuel's going in. Like they did a really good job on Jacksonville, but their other stuff sucks. That's a really cool shot with the trees back in the back there, kind of thinning out winter seasons from Rex. Beautiful. Okay, engine 1 started. We'll set the parking brake for these gentlemen and we can start engine number 2. Oh no, that needs to stay open. What are you doing? Come on now. Nice sounds. Fuel goes in.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
All right, he's wrapping up there.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
And engine 2 is good start. We can turn that to the off position. We don't need our APU. We don't need the air. We can bring back our own air. I'm gonna go ahead and close the pneumatic valves. I'm gonna bring our pumps, auxiliary and trans pump to on. Takeoff RTO is armed. I'm going to set our flaps to 11. I'm going to arm the spoilers for takeoff. And what else? We can do our flight control check. All right, thank you, Henry. Appreciate it. All right, full down, full up, full left, full right, neutral, full left, full right, and neutral. And arm that one more time. I knocked it out of place. Parking brakes on, are in. Those are the 2 warning messages we are looking for. We are looking good. So What we need to do is after start engine ignition selection off, pitot-static heaters are on, airfoil engine anti-switches are as needed, air conditioning supply is on, door cue light, hydraulic system is set. After start checklist complete. Before taxi, APU air switch is off, TRP as required, V-bugs are set, flight instruments are checked, FMS is set and checked, flight controls have been checked, flap and seat levers are at 11, indicating 11. We have auto brake is set and our auto spoiler was just set. Our aileron and rudder trim is set to 0 and 0. Stabilizer trim set to 0. Takeoff briefing is performed. Cabin report is obtained. Taxi checklist complete. Let's hit it. And arm our nav. And brake check is check. Brakes are good. I'm gonna make a left onto hotel. And we'll take this to, this turns into Golf and then right onto Golf 1. Paint job is sick. It's gonna be hard, like going back to the Boeings and the Boeing and the Airbus, because like you sit up a lot taller than this thing. This thing you're like scraping the ground, then flying it for a week and a half. And you can set that to TARA and power up the weather radar. Weather radar's on. And left on the Foxtrot. Yes, DX12, you're really making this super realistic. Alright. Engine selectors go to both. That's armed. This is armed. We'll take our floods and our wings. These guys can come on. Before takeoff, takeoff runway, data, entry point confirmed, takeoff data confirmed, fuel balance is checked. Brake temperatures are checked. And our engine ignition selectors both up top are in op, which is what we want. Takeoff checklist complete. We're gonna just turn the nose lights on and start the clock. Strong wind off of our right hand side on the takeoff roll, so gonna have to put a fair amount of right rudder input. Alright, I'm gonna turn our light on here. Value jet 3892 cleared for takeoff runway 6. Straight ahead, heading 058. Wait for takeoff. Start the clock. And take off. Right rudder, right rudder.
Takeoff thrust set.
Check. Moss right rudder. Check. Airspeed's a lot.
80 knots, cross check.
Long roll. We're carrying quite a bit of fuel for MD. Maddog.
V1. Rotate.
Rotación, nice and easy. We're heavy. There you go.
Positive rate.
Gears up.
Gear up, lights out.
It's not climbing super high performance. A little heavy. Ooh, we're actually falling below our slat retract speed, which is fine. Looking good though. There we go. Now we're accelerating. There's 1,000. At 1,500, we're gonna go to Ypres climb. And Ypres climb, vertical speed half.
Climb thrust set.
Like that. And now we can put our nose down and begin accelerating. Autopilot on. Kind of a sluggish takeoff for the Maddog. Haven't really handled it in those conditions before. And flaps up.
Flap 0.
Lights can come off. That looks good. Stow the art. And still not at slat retract. Wow. Okay, let's go direct to seashells. Seashell, execute, navin. Let's go left-hand turn. Still not at our slat retract speed. See you later, Southwest Florida. And slats up. There they go.
Slats retracted.
Take VNav. Man, this thing is sluggish. Center tanks come on. That goes off. We'll unarm the auto brakes. Our hydraulic pumps can come off or low, and that can come off. Our brake temps look good. Let's do the after takeoff checklist. We'll stow the speed brake, of course. Brake temperatures, landing gear, auto brake is off. Speed brake lever retracted slaps. End slats are up and indicating engine ignition selectors are off. Center fuel tanks are on. Altimeters are checked. After takeoff complete, ladies and gentlemen.
Stabilizer motion.
Yes, Betty. Get that stabilizer right where you need it. Nice. Look at that exhaust. Look at that wind. Like strong crosswind blowing it out that way. Direct seashell. I don't know how I feel about like Florida's ground textures in the winter. Like I feel like they should be more green. I feel like they overdo the browning of all the trees and stuff. Yeah, look at that. That wind. All right, we're looking good. Let's bring the knowledge jazz back in. I gotta get some more jazz. I only found like one song that I like. Why is my progress bar not working? Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, that fix it? Come on. Doesn't want to cooperate today. That's all good. We got jazz. Now that's what matters. You can't be upset when you got jazz playing. $10,000. And wing lights come off. I'll release the passengers. Okay, so I just researched the name of the little guy on the body of the airplane on the fuselage. They named him Critter, and that was the call sign. So they didn't, when they were on the radio, they didn't say Value Jet 3892. They said Critter 3892, which was named after the little drawing. That's great. They had a fleet of 2 McDonnell DC-9s. Hang on, let's see. This is cool. All right, so the inception 1992. They began operations in 1993. They originally offered service from Atlanta to Orlando, Jacksonville, and Tampa with a single DC-9 that previously belonged to Delta. The first flight 901 flew from Atlanta to Tampa. The carrier was headed by a group of industry veterans, including co-founder and chairman Robert Priddy, who had started a string of successful airlines, including Atlantic Southeast Airlines, Air Midwest. I remember both of those. In Florida Gulf Airlines. Let me see what Florida Gulf's livery looked like. I don't recall that one. Florida Gulf Airlines. Wait, we gotta get... Ooh, that's like a nasty... They flew the BA... forget the name of that. The Beech 1900D. Alright, let me get the jazz going here. This is from our Alaska adventure yesterday. Luge jazz. Alright, I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm putting it on. Ooh, okay. I'll get us ready for Nolans. How are we doing in the climb here? 15,000. Navin. Right on profile. Beautiful, beautiful. I knew I forgot something. You always got to set this to like 0.78 because it just likes to cruise really slow by default. See? You can never perfectly repair the Maddog. We got to go to the jazz club after we land in Nolans. $18,000 set standard. How we doing? All right, let's keep that heading lined up. Looks like our bananas lining up with the top of climb coming in. Coming in on 23,000. Got the smooth jazz playing for our eventual arrival into Louis Armstrong. It's clearer than I thought it was going to be. Didn't think we'd be able to see much. So ValueJet went public in June of 1994, a year after a tremendous growth with the, oh my god, they added 15 aircraft since the first flight in 1993. I'm guessing they just kept buying Delta's MD-82s. It became the fastest airline to make a profit in the history of American aviation, earning $21 million in 1994 alone. How the hell did they do that? In October of 1995, ValueJet placed an order with McDonnell Douglas for 50 MD-95 jets known as the 717. I'm guessing they didn't order them. With an option for 50 more to keep costs low, the airline bought many used aircraft from around the world. At the time, ValueJet's fleet was among the oldest in the United States, averaging 26 years old. In 1995, the airline sued Delta and TWA over landing slots. I guess they were like boxing them out from using the main hubs that they were using. Wonder what the heck. Like most low-cost airlines, ValueJet didn't own any of their hangars or spare part inventories. Moreover, many of the measures it took to hold down fares were very aggressive, even by low-cost standards. For example, it required pilots to pay for their own training and only paid them after completed flights. Oh, these guys are savage. I guess their pilots weren't in a union. Gave its first flight attendants only basic training. It also outsourced many functions. This sounds like a third world airline, honestly. I think I flew on ValueJet one time growing up. It also outsourced many functions other airlines handled themselves. For instance, it subcontracted maintenance to several companies. That's a big no-no. And these companies in turn subcontracted the work to other companies. See, that's why you don't want to do that. Whenever delays were caused by mechanics, ValueJet cut the pay of the mechanics working on the plane. Wow, that's a good incentive structure. Just get them up in the air, John. Get them up in the air, Larry. Just keep them flying. Wheels up. Yeah. Safety problems. In August 95, the DoD rejected ValueJet's bid to fly military personnel. Holy crap, they wouldn't even let them fly military people, citing serious deficiencies in ValueJet's quality assurance procedures. The FAA Atlanta field office sent a memo to its headquarters in Washington, D.C., stating that the consideration should be given to an immediate FAR 121 recertification of the airline. In other words, FAA wanted ValueJet grounded. They had to make 129 emergency landings in the years they operated. 15 in 1994, 57 in 95, because I'm sure they were taking care of those amazing mechanics that we just read about and not paying them if they spent too much fixing the planes. February, the FAA ordered ValueJet to seek approval before adding any new aircraft or cities to their network, something the industry had not seen since deregulation in 1979. This attempt at removing ValueJet's certification was lost in the maze at the FAA, according to NTSB chairman Jim Hall. By this time, ValueJet's accident rate was not only one of the highest in the low-fare sector, but it was more than 14 times higher than any of the major legacy carriers. Oh, we're going to make sure today that we're not part of the statistic. We're going to get this baby on the ground in one piece. We can do it. This was like the goodwill of airlines with Critter on the body there. So I have no clue why I can't get my progress bar to work, but that is very strange. That's okay. We got the ETA working, the call sign, and the departure and arrival working. So at least we got that going for us. Let's see. So they had the famous crash flight, ValueJet flight 592 on May 11th, 1996. I know it was a DC-9 from Miami to Atlanta. There was some oxygen tanks in the cargo bay that caught fire. Triggered by fully expired chemical oxygen generators illegally stowed in the cargo hold without safety caps. The generators were put on the plane by maintenance subcontractor SaberTech. The resulting investigation revealed numerous systemic flaws and ultimately faulted both SaberTech for storing the generators on the plane along with ValueJet for not supervising them. After the crash, many of ValueJet's other cost-cutting practices came under scrutiny. I would hope so. One of the planes flew 140 times despite a leaky hydraulic system, and another flew 31 times. Yeah, if you got a leaky hydraulic system, you can't just put that on the MEL for a few months. You're gonna have to address that. Another one flew 31 times with malfunctioning weather radar. See, that's not a problem if you just fly in the sun, right? You just fly when it's clear weather out, no problem. We don't need weather radar. We can use our eyes. Another plane was allowed to fly despite engine rust that went unnoticed during its refit. Caught fire a few months later and was completely destroyed. Yeah, see, not a problem. No problem. Just kick the tires and light the fires, baby. At the time of the crash, the FAA was in the final stage of a 3-month review of ValueJet's operations. The transportation. See, I thought that they just got the bad reputation off the crash, not the insane safety standards that they were cutting. However, after the department's inspector, General May Schiavo, strongly objected to allowing ValueJet to stay in the air, the FAA grounded ValueJet on June 11th, 1996. That was exactly 1 month after the fatal crash. On September 1996, ValueJet resumed flying with 15 jets, down from 52 before the crash, after complying with all the Department of Transportation and FAA requirements. On November 4th, ValueJet announced that Joseph Corr, CEO of Continental Airlines, would become CEO and president at a time when the airline was in serious trouble. Its highest paying customers never returned. However, it had lost $55 million since the crash. Maybe because they had to spend all the money on fixing the other airplanes. After all the negative publicity, they suffered financial problems, and they announced that it would merge with much smaller Airway Corporation, parent of AirTran Airways. There you go. History. Aviation history. I'm gonna try something different on the flare. This thing likes to float. I'm gonna cut the throttles at like 25 feet, maybe even 30, and like it likes to land with like a 5, maybe even a 6-degree pitch attitude. I've been landing it at like 4 degrees lately, which has been working good, but I want the butter. I want the butter. There's no lands, there's no winds in New Orleans. So it'd be a good chance to try to test our buttering abilities on this landing. If you're watching, let me know where you're watching from and say what's up. Put it into cruise on the TPR. We're cruising. Our passengers are up. How's our fuel burn looking? Yep, 650 left in the center tanks, and we'll move to the outer tanks. Looking good. Oh man, I love that decal. Look at that. Just looks angry. The Maddog is looking angry. And then it's looking angry. Then you have this drawing of a 3-year-old did of an airplane waving at everybody. It's quite the irony, quite the oxymoron. All right, we're making good progress though. I mean, we're cruising. We got Daytona like right down here off our right wing right now. See if we can see the racetrack. Do we see any? Might be able to see it. Oh no, it's kind of... Oh, that's like on the other side of the freaking state. Never mind. I had the map zoomed out. It was tricking me. Let's see. We're like over Ocala, Florida. I think it's called Ocala. And then this is Cedar Key down here. Right below us, Cedar Key. Florida, right there. There's an airport, like, on the map. It might actually be down here. I think the level of detail won't show it. That sounds like Louis Armstrong right there. Just finished burning the fuel in the center tanks. Got on the wing tanks now. On our way over to New Orleans. All right, I'm gonna start preparing for our arrival. I'm gonna break out the charts. So what do we got here? We're gonna come in on the ILS runway 11. I'm not gonna go all the way out to Aldad. I'm gonna probably make our turn into Voodoo or Turtle. Actually, Voodoo's like really far. We'll take Turtle in because it's 15 out from the threshold. We don't need to have a 25-mile final. So Turtle, it wants us at 4,000, which is good. It should be indicated here. Mud Turtle at 4,000. Yeah, that's perfect. The ILS frequency for runway 11 is 109.9, 109.9, 109.9, and the course is 106. All right, we'll dial that in there. And our decision height for this approach is 200 feet radio. 200. Good. And let's see, what else do we need to do? Let's get our descent winds in here. So our descent winds are... All right. Descent winds at flight level 310, flight level 200, flight level 150, and flight level 100. And the descent winds are 243 at 126. We got 254 at 73. We have 263 at 57. And finally, 269 at 37. Cool. And then let's do our landing performance. So what we got for landing is going to be KMSY. Our conditions are it's clear. 9 degrees, 3014. And that looks clear. Visibility 10 statute miles. We're dry. The wind is going to be 170 at 4. The outside air temperature is 9 degrees, which is like, that's pretty chilly now. That's like, let's see, like 32, it's like 48 degrees out there, something like that. Runway 11, flaps 40, QNH is 3014. And reverse yes, we'll take auto brake. Let me see the length of the runway. All right, the length, oh yeah, it's 10,000 feet. We'll take like Gulf 6 out to the gates. High speed. Gulf 6, high speed. We'll take low. Get our landing weight. So I'll come here to the progress page. It says we're going to land with 10.7. We'll come to the fuel gauge. 10.7 on 109.7 is like 110.4, 120.4. So 120, 400, calculate it. We'll come over here, 120.4 for a landing. We're gonna land at 132. 132. Coming down to our card, 120.4, 132. There you go, we'll bug that. Perfect. Nice. There you go. So we got our landing speeds all bugged in. Our pressurization panel, the elevation is 4 feet. That's why they got all that freaking water when they got hit by Katrina, because it's like under sea level. They gotta pump the water out. So 4 feet, 3014 on the altimeter, which is, yeah, roughly right there. So we're good. We're all pressurized and ready for the descent into Nolens. I'm gonna set our bottom altitude down to 4,000, so our VNAV will pick it up when we get to the top of the descent in 85 miles. So we're all good, I believe. Nice. I am excited for this approach. Nice, nice. All right, so we're coming up on the top of the ascent now. I'm gonna ding the cabin, ding our flight attendants, bring on our auxiliary pumps back on. Let's do our before descent checklist. Descent MSA is checked. And our approach landing briefing is confirmed. We have our MDF is set and cross-checked. We have landing data set. Our V-bugs are all set up over here. Radio altimeter is set to 200. Hydraulic system is set and checked. Pressurization panel is checked and set. Descent checklist is complete. Our MSA on the east side is 1800 left, and on the west side it's 3100 for Nolans. Here we come. So we're coming in from the east side of the airport, then we're gonna pass the airport, make a left-hand turn to Turtle, and then land eastbound, the direction that we're coming from. 3015. Set. And on the standby. We're coming up on our D cells. A lot of times the way the vertical nav is modeled in the Leonardo, you need to deploy speed brake at 10,000. Otherwise it can't catch the vertical profile it's set for itself. But since we're going past the airport, I'll probably just let it go hang above the profile. I mean, we don't need to be at any super low restrictions or strict restrictions for going past the airport. Slid is the last waypoint in our star here. So does this go to a vector? Yes, it does. All right, cool. I might set like a custom waypoint for all dad. All dad. Go like 330/7. See what that gives. Yeah, that's freaking nice. All right, like a real fake pilot. Like that. Look at that. Now we don't have to do nothing. Custom waypoint for the win. So 10,000 feet, our lights can come on. Where does it think we're gonna hit 4,000? Let's take a look. Oh man, we got so far to hit all down. Or no, we're gonna make that turn to turtle. So let me redo that. It's like 330. Turtle. This is place bearing distance trick you can do. Sometimes I do it if like I'm not flying with ATC and I have to vector myself in. Like, see, that's nice. Now we can like make a custom waypoint right there. And then, oh crap, we don't want to do that. Erase it. It put irreplace turtle, which we don't want to do. We just want to go above it because we still want to hit turtle. Turtle 330/7. If I do that, it should put it above it, right? Okay, yeah. turtle. Bring this back up to this page. Skip all that nonsense. And then we can go direct intercept turtle way custom point 4. And that's what we want. Clean it up, baby. Nice. Real professional. Real professional piloting going on the chair bus channel. Oh, I probably should have looked at that custom waypoint before I put it in there. All right, yeah, that looks so good. It goes right past turtle and then left-hand turn, swing it in there. Nice. All right, so like I said, I might get off profile here as we decel, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. So turtle should be at, yeah, 4,000 and above. So it's just waiting to bring us down. Cool. Nice, nice, nice. Lights are out. That floods wing all lit up. So yeah, you can see we'll make this turn. We'll catch the glide slope. I'm gonna put our bank to 30. We want to make a sharp turn in there. Could take this and say, let's say 330. That's all right. We're good with. I'm good with this. Actually, we'll do like turtle 330. Give me 8 miles to make that turn a little bit nicer. Yeah, there you go. See, like, yeah, now we don't have that break. So now it's telling us we can easily make that turn with that extra mile of radius. Perfect. Man, I'm impressing myself. Custom waypoints. Drawing my own route. Turtle's like 15 miles out from the runway, so the airport's right off our left here. It's somewhere right there. See it? Right there. We're looking good. It's always good when you're when you can impress yourself flying. See, the nice thing about the Maddog is the FMC is like the same Honeywell system as the Boeing, so like you can do the place bearing distance trick just like an Airbus and Boeing. It's a little bit different on an Airbus with the slashes. Like on Airbus you would say like turtle. And then you would do it like this, like bearing 330, so slash and then slash 8 miles. Whereas on Boeings, you just put the bearing like that, no slash, and then the distance. But that's a nice little trick if you're trying to vector yourself or you need to cross a waypoint at a certain distance. You can make fixes and stuff to suit your needs. In this case, since it's a swinging left turn, and I want to make it just do it via nav versus heading select. This is a way you can paint your route for the nav system to display and calculate your altitudes. I put making a custom waypoint right in here and it'll swing us in and we'll hit turtle right where we want to be. Our ILS is picking us, is in range. It's picking up the runway. So there's the runway 11. We're just gonna swing in right there. Cool, cool. Engine ignition to both in preparation. We got the brake set to minimum for our landing. Our V speed is going to be 132 at flats 40. Our brake temperatures are checked. We are leisurely coming into New Orleans because that's the only way to come into New Orleans. You can't come in here any other way but leisurely. Gotta come in for Mardi Gras. Nobody's coming in here for not for serious business. This is a cultural hub of music and food and party. All right, we're getting it. So we're gonna make that turn in about 9 miles. Arm the ILS when we're getting close to Turtle. Should pick it up. I remember when I first started flying the Maddog, I was holding my breath the whole time. I was like, if I press this button, what's this gonna do? And just like that new like that uncertainty you get when you're flying an aircraft for the first time, it's quite nerve-wracking because you really don't know what it's gonna do. It's kind of like a lot of Airbus pilots that are coming from other aircraft are like, what is this thing doing now? Because it's such a different logic to how it takes inputs from the pilot. So that's how I felt when I was flying the Maddog. I was like, well, oh, if I hit this, what's it gonna do? If I hit this, IAS Mach or vertical speed or speed, and I was like looking over here, it's like, what is it doing? And you just learn through trial and error until you eventually get comfortable. So I'm feeling comfortable, feeling confident. I know which buttons to press and I know how the Maddog's gonna react, which is a good feeling. That's the feeling you want when you're flying a complicated aircraft. Okay, this should have come down to 4,000, so I'm gonna intervene and bring us down manually. So vertical speed 240, I'll dial that back to 210. We'll use speed brake. Wait, 220 is fine. We don't need to get that slow. We're still like 17, 18 miles out after we make the turn. Here comes the left turn. Here we go. There comes the glide slope. The brick's coming down for a second. It'll come back down as we make our way towards the airfield. This is looking nice. We'll have a nice capture. Music's off. Sounds up. And slat.
Slats extended.
Still 19 miles out. That is the off our right wing. What is that? I don't even see it on the map. Oh, here we go. Mississippi. There you go. The Mississippi River. ILS armed. Gonna catch it perfect. With the glide slope and everything. Watch this. Ooh, look at that bridge out there. Big old bridge. There's our runway. Your localizer is captured. Glide slope captured. Nice. I'll turn the landing light on. We got that guy. Arm our speed brake. 14 miles out. Very nice. Long final. I mean, the way it's published, you're looking at, you're doing like a 25-mile final. I mean, what are we doing here? Are we like a 747 Series 8? Like, why do they need a 25-mile final? We're Maddog. We can do wild things. All right, that's like 12 miles. Looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be on the ground momentarily. Beautiful. Value jet, except for we're operating it safely. That's pretty cool. I don't know, the container coming out the mouth into the Gulf. Looks like it's going towards the Gulf. And flaps 11. Slow up. This thing doesn't like to slow down. Oh boy. We'll have to take gear at I'll take gear at like 7.5. Oh, here it comes. Here comes the speed. 132 is our VREF here. Gear down. Flaps 15.
Flaps 15. Gear down. 3 green.
Dude, this thing likes to go. You gotta really put a lot of drag out to get this thing. Look, it's still at 190. Doesn't want to slow down. But we got it. We got plenty of time. We're 6 miles out. Everything's looking good. Landing checklist. Final landing gear flaps 28. Auto brake is set. Ignition to both. Engine out overhead panel is set. I'm gonna arm the auto brake once it's 28, which it did. And flaps 40. Look at that. Ooh, this is a nice approach. This will be a good replay. There's 40. Coming over this bridge here. Cool, cool, cool. Look at that nose down attitude. We're still a little hot, but we got 4 miles to bleed off, so we're looking perfect. Nice. It's like complete idle. Still at 140. This thing doesn't like to slow down. All right, I'm gonna take the throttles.
500.
And my airplane.
Autopilot.
Thank you, Betty, for the handoff.
400.
Landing.
Light slow.
We're
Light
good.
slow. Light slow. Light slow.
140, 30, 20, 10.
That was the same exact landing rate as yesterday. I flared it a little bit. I rounded it out too early. You don't want to round this thing out until like 15 feet. I started rounding it out at 20. We're going to make our exit at the high speed up there.
60 knots.
Or I think we did. Yeah, that was our exit back there. Okay. Reversers are stowed. We're gonna go flaps up. Stow the speed brake. These guys can come off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nolans. We are literally at the gate. EARA, turn the weather radar off. Slats retract. Get the APU air on. That looks good. And let's pick a suitable parking spot for us. And the parking, I'll take C7. Nice. Ooh, there's like another terminal over there. I didn't even notice that. Big airport. 2 terminals on opposite ends. How do they I wonder how they like do that. Is it like an underground train? Because you don't see like a I don't see like a tram that wraps around. Okay, so air's on, APU is on. We got them selected, so we're good to shut down the engines when we get there. This is good texturing. Like, I'm happy with this. A little sloppy on the edges, but better than the fly too high stuff I've been flying into. XE lights off so we don't blind everybody. Come into our marshaller. I think this is Latin VFR made this. They're like an okay quality. Not the top of the top. Nice. Okay. We're all on that power now. Turn off our anti-collision light and we can deboard the aircraft. Take our pumps off actually. Deboard. Ground power unit on. There you go. GSX. Nice. That is how you safely operate the most dangerous airline in history. We'll say goodbye to our passengers. Okay. Have a good day, sir. Be careful with that ponytail. Have a good day, sir. Have a good day. Don't get too drunk on the strip. If somebody throws beads at you, you know what to do. Don't disappoint your father now. Ma'am, please be careful out there. Don't get too drunk on Bourbon Street. Alright, so just a nice routine flight. Little custom waypoint action there on the approach. Everything looks good in here. We can do the parking checklist. Parking. After landing, checklist. Flaps are up and slats are stowed. Speed brake lever, auto brakes off, engine ignition's off, pitot static. We'll turn that off. Ice switches, we can turn that off. Right there. And the weather radar is off. After landing checklist complete. Parking is fuel tanks are off. You can turn the APU off. Air is off. Hey, let's see. Battery switch as required. Good. Parking. Parking brake is set. Auxiliary pumps are off. Fuel tank pump is off. So yeah, that's the parking checklist. Let's take a look at the terminal. Ooh, they modeled it. Ooh, dang, this is nice. And ooh, look at these. This is my passengers coming through. Don't get too drunk. Oh boy. This is great. Good job, Latin VFR. Good performance too. Look at this guy. This guy's so shit-faced he doesn't even have a face anymore. These are my passengers coming out of the gate. This lady's like, is that Value Jet? I've heard bad things about them. Not if Captain Chairbus is in charge, though. Captain Chairbus will take care of you. Okay, we got to get some exciting jazz for the replay. Jazz. How about this? Does this work? Oh yeah. Here we go. Look at that. They were going that way before. They got. Where are you guys going? The bags are over here. I'm gonna beat you guys to the baggage. You know that one person that's like rushing to go nowhere? That's me right now. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Dang, they must have done both. Oh, look at that. That's the jazz band. There you go. They must have done both terminals like this. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not like the top tier of detail, but that's really nice. I like that. Good performance. Like, yeah, I give this like a solid A. For the performance, textures are good, like on the tarmac and the runway. It's a good, very well done airport. I would recommend it. Okay, are you guys ready for... We got the jazz going now, so we got to get ready for this replay. So give me 1 minute and we are going to replay. Oh yeah, that's good New Orleans music for the replay. We're just 1 second here. What are we doing? All right. I might have to restart the light because it's not really cooperating. So let me give me 1 minute here. I have a solution. Technical difficulty, but there is a solution. It's straight. I've been having like some weird quirks going on in the stream. Because we couldn't get our progress bar to load. I don't know what that's about. I think it has something to do with Sim Connect or something. All right, KMSY. We got it. Don't worry. No problemo. We got the music, and that's at least working. All right, we're loading back in. It's not a Captain Chair Bus stream without replay. I refuse to sign off until my audience has seen the ultimate replay. All right, here we go. OBS. Give me that, and here we go. Replaying. You knew I would come through. Captain Chairbus always comes through with the goods. So I cut the throttles where I wanted to, around like 25, 30. I round it out. This thing does like to float. You don't have to really flare until like 15 and then really start flaring around 10. Like you want to check it a little bit and then flare it at like 10. And I started to round it out around 20-ish. But I cut the throttle. I mean, no, that's not. Ooh, see, I started to climb right there and then plopped it down. Still a good landing. Okay, come on, Captain Chairbus. You got it. Look at that. It does look like Airtran with the black nose there. Oh, you see, we almost had 2 landings there. I mean, I almost had it perfect, but I got greedy. I wanted the butter, and when you get butter, you get sour grapes. You just got to go for the legal landing. There's the cap. Oh, I was so close to having that. Oh, that was still a really nice landing. I'm not gonna penalize myself on this. But dang, we almost had one for the record books there. Nice. Picture. We gotta get a picture. Now I really feel like I'm in New Orleans. Let's see, so the captain bars are back there. That's a cool picture with the taxiway sign there. That's sweet. Actually, let me zoom in. Nice. Wow. Let's get that Hollywood shot. Alright. Nice shadows on the trees there. Ooh, yes. Oh, that was so close. You can see there's a downslope on the runway. Otherwise, I might have caught it like right around the 1500 footers, like right around there. I mean, we still landed it incredibly like inside the touchdown zone. Not even a question. But ooh, if it okay, yeah. Center line, a little left. Should have put a little bit of left rudder in. I'm just being overly critical because I just I want every landing to be butters, which is not even close to how it works in real life. Oh. Let's do this. What would be a trip to New Orleans without a little gospel? You know what I'm saying? We gotta get everything into this trip. We're only here for a day. We gotta get jambalaya, Bourbon Street, gospel, jazz. We gotta get everything going. Look at that. The passengers there were like, yo, is this guy gonna touch down or what? Should have touched down right there. And then it starts coming back up. A little floater. Alright. We'll take that though. Let's see if we can get any other interesting. Can we get any other interesting views? I could go from the other side of the runway actually. This will be a cool view, kind of far from it. That's max zoom. This would be the max setting on somebody's camera lens. There you could really see the float. Let me get view from behind it. Ooh, that's freaking cool. Whoa! That was a classic value jet there. Holy shit. Almost crashed it. Oh boy. Dude, that would have been hilarious. Picture. Ah, that floater. I'll go watch him taxi off. I want to go check out the other side of that terminal. See how they modeled it. It's a pretty airplane. Looks good in this livery. Too bad it was a super unsafe. They're like the Volkswagen scandal of airlines. They're crazy. Jeez. That was a good history lesson though that we did in flight. Look at that. That's pretty cool texturing like for the metal roof. I like that. Cool picture. Where did we park? It's like C7. We should like watch it pull in from the oh no, we're not gonna be able to because it's blocked. All right, that's all good. Get real nice. Look at the bump, like, see, that's not good, like, they're like huge terrain bumps and stuff, right, when you're pulling into the gate. That's not great modeling. But yeah, put it right on the mark here. Nice park job. Beautiful, value jet. Let's go take a look at the other terminal. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I was back there. What is that? There's like billboards up here. That's cool. All right. This is the other terminal because we're parked over here. See how they did over here. Oh, this is not modeled. That's okay. I wonder why they only modeled one. This looks like another civilian aviation, yeah. There's the tower. Ooh, we got some nice boats back here, little roads, highways. This obviously isn't modeled. Nope. Some of the parking garage is modeled. This looks like it definitely would be modeled, but it is. There you go. I'm just trying to slow my drone down. D11. So these gates are modeled. Cool. That's good. Like, that's good texturing. With the dirt and the grime. I like these runway textures, are really good. Cool. Jet blast fence here. This is the ticketing. All right. Well, I think that's gonna take us to the end of the stream. I hope you enjoyed that nice leg over to New Orleans from Southwest Florida, Fort Myers. I appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, thanks for watching another Captain Chairba stream. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.